Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Dental. Comprehensive dentistry at 14 convenient locations in Springfield, Chicopee, Longmeadow, West Springfield, Belchertown, East Longmeadow, Ludlow, Northampton, Greenfield, and Wilbraham, as well as 29 Broad Street in Westfield. Bay State Dental makes it a priority to help you achieve and maintain the healthy smile you deserve. On the web at baystatedental.com.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning.
It's Tuesday morning.
Yes, and it is.
It is.
There's an echo.
Jay's got the repeater on.
September.
What is the September date?
I knew I'd catch it. September 16th,
Nope.
2020. No?
No, keep
It's
trying.
the day after Labor Day. We're still in single digits.
Oh,
Yeah.
September 8th.
Well, it was like the 16th, only not quite that much. Good morning. Another morning when we're confused. Is that what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Trusty, Dusty, Lusty, Musty, Crusty, and well-modulated psychic Jake Lucas speaks.
Good morning.
Bob Plass answers. Good morning.
That's Bob Plass.
Yeah, and Peter
is this
Coles in the box, kitten of the keys, listens.
So is this then going to be a an official Ask Bob Anything morning?
Ooh.
Does it? Could it be? Of course it could be. You have something to ask me?
No, but
How was
I'm
your
not
weekend?
doing anything New Year's Eve if that's what you're wanting.
How was your weekend, Bob?
I don't know. I'm not easy though. Okay, No. You got to dinner first.
No, Bob. How was your
week?
week?
Afterwards.
What'd
How
you
was
do
your
this
weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a very interesting thing that I've been noting that my days seem alike.
That's because you don't go anywhere. It's pretty simple on that one. Christ's sakes, you're still in your stinking quarantine.
All this summer, the days have seemed alike to many of us.
Not
yes.
for me.
What?
No.
Good Lord.
No,
What? All you're doing is looking at those darn monitors every day.
You're
No, that's
working.
not true. I'm working. I've been on vacation this summer, although not as far as I wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
I was away overnight Friday night last week. This weekend. I wanted to go to Vermont. They wouldn't let me.
Vermont wouldn't let you in?
No, literally they won't. Their rules are, you're gonna love this. So the hotel operator calls me early last week. I booked the hotel like on Sunday.
Right.
I get a call on Tuesday from the hotel operator, and she goes, "Well, we just checked your county, and you have too many cases, active cases of COVID."
They don't want you.
So I says, "Well," she says, "Well, look it up." So I look it up with her, and I go, "That's insane, right?" So they extrapolate the number of cases out to number per million. Now
Number
there's
per
only
million.
470,000 people in Hampden County. But according to this, if you extrapolate it out to a million, we now have 529 positive cases in Hampden County, all of which are within Springfield.
Because you're connected to Springfield.
Well, because they go county by county.
Right.
So this is where it gets interesting. So if you have over 400 cases, you are not allowed into the state of Vermont without quarantining either first or during your stay in Vermont.
Oh, God.
So
Okay, there we have a question.
So I
Joyce.
said to her, I says, we have one one active case right now in the city of Westfield. She goes, yeah, but we got to go by county. She goes, if you come here and you register for your address, and everything else, and I get audited, and they go back and check, I get a $10,000 fine. I said, that is insane. She goes, I know, it's killing our business up here.
Yeah.
She said, it's absolutely killing us up here.
It's probably because they would have to know the stats for every town in Massachusetts. Could that be it?
Well, no, they're using the Johns Hopkins model.
Yeah.
Which, some people have issues with. Some people use the CDC. The state of Vermont chose the Johns Hopkins model.
Uh-huh.
And they extrapolate out to 1 million. Now, the active number of cases, there's only, what did they say, less than 9 people hospitalized? Or is
in
it
Hampton County right at the moment?
29. It's 29 and 1 critical in the entire Bay State system. So, and they're all at Bay State Hospital. Nothing in the satellite hospitals. There is no active COVID cases, they said. And they said it in the news this morning. At Wing, at Berkshire Medical Center, at Noble, any of the other Bay State hospitals, there's no active cases at all. They're all at the mothership.
Right.
So that means the only problem is in Springfield right now. And the rest of the county gets penalized for our population center.
Wow. So
But imagine that. But New Hampshire does not have the same rules.
Yeah.
So New Hampshire says that if you're from New England, you do not have to quarantine when coming to visit the great state of New Hampshire.
So why didn't you go to New Hampshire?
Which is what I did. I went to Concord.
Oh, you did. You immediately went.
So I canceled my reservation. I said, I'm sorry, I have to do that. She goes, no, I understand. It's not our rules. It's the state. And I said, yeah, I'm going to move over to New Hampshire.
Well, then you lose.
So you went from what city to what town to what town?
I went from Shelburne, Vermont.
Right.
Which I really wanted to because I went to the bottom of Lake Champlain. It looked beautiful.
Uh-huh.
I went to Concord, New Hampshire.
Oh, Concord, New Hampshire.
That's
actually
where they have the grapes.
The town of Bow.
Bowel.
Bow.
B-O-W. Bow.
Oh, the town of Bow.
Yes.
B-O-W.
And I crossed another list off my diners, drive-ins, and dives list.
Oh, really? Oh, fabulous.
Where did you eat?
Beautiful restaurant called The Butchery.
Uh-huh.
It started as a butcher shop, and then it became a restaurant, and the meatloaf was the size of my head. It was enormous. My girlfriend got meatloaf. It was over an inch thick, and it was like 12 inches. It was enormous.
Wow.
2 meals, easily.
Yeah.
I had steak tips, and they were unbelievable.
Uh-huh. And it's not a diner. It's like...
No, this is a nice restaurant. It's beautiful.
But how does it fit into the diners, dives, and what's the other thing?
Diners, drive-ins, and dives has all kinds of places. It started out as a butcher shop, just as a butcher shop, and they've expanded over the years.
I see. And it's on the list of diners, drives, and...
Yeah, they've been there.
Dives.
Yeah, they featured it on a segment.
I remember. Okay. There's one in Kenosha, of all places, where, of course, we send out our best.
Have you been there?
Yeah. Oh, no, yes. Oh, absolutely.
You see Guy Fieri's picture when you go in on the wall?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's called Frank's Diner.
Oh, really?
And
they
Is that
have
who the dog is named after?
My dog is named after this diner.
This diner, okay, good.
Right. Frankie is named after Frank's Diner in Wisconsin. And Frank's Diner has what they call... They're I guess they garbage. The garbage
pail, yeah. Everything,
pail.
yeah.
Everything.
They have that over at Partners over in Agawam.
Yeah. And they also just have a wide variety of great breakfasts.
Do they have Scrapple?
Scrapple is bacon?
It's a pork product that comes in like a loaf.
It's a spam for
it's
breakfast
not.
eaters.
It's not quite spam. It's a different flavor.
Uh-huh.
But it's really tasty.
I don't know, but I'm sure they've got fried spam in Wisconsin.
Spam.
So then the other thing was
no, wait a minute, I got to finish.
Go ahead.
You're good because you're going to love what they also do. It's a tradition on weekends that at, I think 11 o'clock, they break out the champagne and they pour champagne for everybody in the.
It's still there at 11 o'clock.
And we all get a champagne to toast, whether you want it or not.
Well, that's
that
all right.
sounds like a road trip.
I'll sit next to
It's a
somebody.
great, and I'll connect
Hey,
you
Bob,
with,
I'll go out there with you. Why don't we do a radio show at the diner?
Oh, listen.
There we go.
You got it.
And you could have your Wisconsin. I mean, Wisconsin's only, about 20 hours? It's not a big deal. I'll drive out there.
I'm not exactly sure. I'm not allowed to drive on those long trips. All I'm allowed to do is to sort of put my blinders on, look down at my book, and read, because if I look at the road, James and I will be divorced by the time we get to Chicago. It's true.
What's the place
Absolutely true.
out by Westover? It's
oh gosh, yeah.
it's
Bernie's.
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 That's the place.
They
It's
actually have a great breakfast
It's
too
an
over
old
there.
rail car, but that's my. They've got some wonderful cuts of meat, and then they have something. And this is the first. I made the mistake, and I'll say this twice.
Oh,
it's a good mistake.
Yeah.
I ordered the conductor's cut.
Oh my God, that's enormous.
It's like half a side of beef.
Yes.
Oh,
And they carry it out with this fanfare, you know. And,
No,
and it's,
really?
Oh yeah, it's unbelievable.
so what is it? A
Hey,
$40
Bob, it's only-
cut of prime?
It's just what he said.
It's enormous. It's
Yeah.
like 4 meals.
It's-
Did
Like,
you
yo,
eat
I'm a
all
big
of it?
guy, but that's a lot of
Yeah,
food.
Yeah.
I did not eat all of it. I ate about half of it though. So
Really?
and then I
So
took
Bob,
the
it's only
rest home.
14 hours. I'll meet you out there.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I'd love. I mean, it's 14 hours. Are there any good hotels there I can stay in?
Oh yeah, I can connect you with everything.
Not
right.
not if you're from Hampden County.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
My relatives out there, Carol and Jeff, and you'll meet Chris and
it
the
looks like it's
most
almost right on the
beautiful
water,
8
too.
kids that you're going to ever want to meet. There's a new one coming next week, as a matter of fact.
It's very close to the water.
It's right on the water, and they actually have very interesting. They have a Civil War museum.
Yeah, right around the block.
Yeah, it's great.
They had a civil war out there? I
Well,
didn't think it
don't
ever
know
made it
exactly
that far.
Why they have a Civil War museum?
It never made it that far west.
Yeah, I don't.
No.
I'm not exactly
Jay, you need to
sure.
go with us too because they have a bar called Spanky's
Okay.
They have a.
Spanky's. Wait, what are you saying?
in Kenosha. There's a bar called Spanky's Bar and Grill.
Yeah, okay.
Banky's
Yeah.
bar.
Actually, did any of these places get burned down?
Speaking of
that's a misnomer. That there are not that many that got burned down.
Okay, that's good.
But
There's-
and what they're saying, I think we said it before, is many of the buildings have plywood on them to protect.
Yeah,
them.
sure.
And
what?
the-
Plywood doesn't burn?
Well, it's you
for
get more
breaking of
discouraged.
glass,
You get more discouraged if there's
It's harder
plywood
to,
on
yeah,
there.
it's harder to throw something through the window.
And the town of Kenosha has drawn beautiful murals all over. I mean, the citizens have drawn beautiful murals that say love and peace and.
You ever
Black
notice?
Lives Matter.
I don't know if either of you have spent time in Philadelphia, but all around Philadelphia, it's become known over the years for its murals. Just it's like every wall in the city, every big blank wall has something painted on it, and if you ask around long enough, you will find the reason for that is people that get arrested for things that aren't real serious, like
Graffiti?
like graffiti, is okay. You are sentenced to paint something nice on that wall, and they have to draw it out. It has to be approved, but it's now their job to paint that wall,
And it becomes an honor for
and
them.
it becomes
I mean,
now
like-
it becomes
their own wall.
their art. Yeah, so I mean it's pretty diverse, and it was pretty cool.
Right,
But
right.
people that you get into mischief in town, paint the wall.
Yeah. Have you seen the wonderful mural that Artworks has done?
Oh, in the tunnel.
Yeah. At the,
Yeah, and they're going to do another one down by the river.
They are. I was talking to Bill last week.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. The tunnel is. It's. Bill was explaining to me.
Well, describe where the tunnel is. A lot of people in town just don't know.
All
It's underneath part of the rail trail that is south of the downtown Stop and Shop.
That's right.
And it's only a couple of blocks south of there.
It's between the Mason Lodge, and what's the other side of it? Oh, the nursing home that's there, Governor's Place.
Governor's Center.
There's a street there that leads to it.
Yeah.
Or-
Right, and they finally connected the neighborhoods after 100 and something years.
Yeah,
right,
and if
because the rail line went over
That's
top
exactly
of it.
right. And then if you walk through the tunnel on the other side of the street, if you're on the street that Dunkin' Donuts is that right?
It's behind behind the old Dunkin' Donuts, the original Dunkin' in town.
Yeah. I think that
Which is
you
off
can
East
go down
Main
that
Street.
street.
Yeah.
It's on the Scarecrow
Main
Trail,
Street,
the
Main
Pumpkin Fest. No, not yet, but it may be on the Scarecrow.
Let's the Scarecrow Trail. I just saw a really nice article in the paper about that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, this is really going to be cool.
we have. Oh my gosh, I think there's upwards of 70 homes
Really?
and businesses that have signed up to make scarecrows
That's cool.
and have them on display, or we have all different ways. It's the not-for-profits in our town do great work, and of course we struggle without having been able to do
No
fundraising,
fundraising, no events, no. It's been a lean summer to say the least.
Man. So we created the Scarecrow Trail as part of the reimagined Pumpkin Fest that you can read about at westfieldonweekends.com. And you can get a scarecrow making kit for $20. Okay? If you want the scarecrow to be made, all right, it's $50. And there's another thing for $150, and I'm not sure exactly what that is. But if you, I'm going to put a sign up on downtown around the bridge. There's one at my house, and there are others throughout the town. I'm putting some others up today and this week. But there are other ways to do it. But that's the Scarecrow Trail. You're on the Scarecrow Trail. I'm making
am
you
on
a
the
scarecrow.
Scarecrow
as a
Trail,
matter of fact.
yes. And then for an extra donation, you can get a custom ordered online, way too small and shiny shirt that you get from China. Like you had last week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, I got to order you another one. I'll take one out of my closet.
Oh my, that was funny last
Oh, my
week.
gosh,
Jim got a big kick out of that.
Jim Quinn, I re-gifted the China
Did he
shirt.
take it home with him, or did he throw it
Oh,
away?
no, he took it home with him. I swear he's going to wear it. I just have that sense that he's going to wear it.
I half thought he was going to put it back in one of the closets and you'll find it in your house in a year or some such
or
thing.
Did he,
at Christmas.
Did
Yes.
he actually enjoy himself last week?
Oh, he had a great time. Oh, man.
That's
oh, yeah,
good.
yeah. I think we've got him to visit more often now. You know, when people come to the studio and you're able to do that, it's
It's a
fun.
treat to come in. It
It is.
really is.
It is.
You know, especially nowadays when nobody gets out of the house.
Oh, my
Hey,
God.
before you leave the Scarecrow Trail
Oh,
thing.
so
and
anyway, yeah, you
Pumpkin
got to
Fest,
go on westfieldonweekends.com. You can also read about the Haunted Houses tour. If you want to be on the Haunted Houses tour, that's the other one. And that has
Now, on the
some
Haunted
beautiful-
Houses tour, is it just a drive-by? You're not.
All of this is drive-by.
Yeah,
There's a
okay.
drive because you got it from October 16th through the 31st. You're going to be able to take your kids on a Sunday drive, Saturday drive, Tuesday afternoon drive, and drive and see. There's this great GPS map that you can go down and you pull it up to a neighborhood and see where all of the scarecrows or haunted houses are.
So if you want to decorate your house for Halloween,
That's right.
You can be on this haunted house tour.
Yeah, it's just the outside, not the inside.
Right.
Yeah, you could do the inside if you like. Do you
Okay.
do the inside at all?
I used to a lot. You know, back in the day when the kids were little, I would
Did
do
you?
it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know now and this is my excuse for doing something again this year. You know, obviously I'll have the Scarecrow. I'll be
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I'll do something. You know, I have a few toys we can make.
We're working on also a holiday lights tour for Decemberfest this year
Nice.
as well. And of course, there is a October 17th. There is a movie of the season, and they're choosing that movie, whether it be Hocus Pocus. Last week I said it was the Nightmare Before Christmas. Apparently, they're choosing between Hocus Pocus, Nightmare, and there's one other, maybe The Goonies, or I don't know, but they're an appropriate one for the season family movie.
A double feature,
and
maybe?
there's going to be a disc jockey playing children and Halloween songs before.
So the rumor says.
Yeah, yes.
Jay, you get
Yeah,
drafted
and
for that?
you're part of that whole thing.
You get
aren't
drafted for that, Jay?
Drafted. Yeah,
Oh, he's always
Oh,
drafted.
good.
Yeah.
That means
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
have to do
yeah.
it.
He's permanent draft status. He's got a 1A as far as we're all concerned.
Usually that's
Exactly right.
that's me that gets drafted for stuff like that.
Well, yeah, you're the second man on the list because you're behind the glass there, and you're so busy.
I have
right
less.
now.
I have less toys than Jay does to make it all
Yeah.
spooky.
Hey, everybody! Today is, believe it or not, Patsy Cline's birthday. She would have been 88 years old today.
Did she fall to pieces?
Oh, Jay.
Sorry.
Oh,
Jay.
I was crazy about it.
Oh my God, you're
And
both gonna
since
get them.
since we've gone, we've all been feeling. She had a great voice. I'm going to play one of her songs that people don't. Well, I don't know if they think about this with Patsy Cline. Heartaches. Do you know Heartaches?
Heartache
Heartaches.
No, Heartache
My
Tonight
love
was
of
the
you
Eagles.
meant only heartaches.
Didn't Linda Ronstadt do some Patsy Cline songs?
Oh,
I
yes,
think,
she
yes,
did.
I think
Yeah,
she, that, and that's what's in my head.
Yeah, I Fall to Pieces was one of them. Exactly right. Well, here's Patsy Cline, 88 today. Happy birthday, Patsy. We miss you, and Heartaches.
Heartaches, heartaches, my loving you meant only heartaches. Your kiss was such a sacred thing to me. I can't believe it's just a burning memory. Heartaches, heartaches, what does it matter how my heart breaks? I should be happy with someone new, but my heart aches for you. Heartaches, heartaches, my loving you meant only heartaches. Your kiss was such a sacred thing to me. I can't believe it's just a burning memory. Heartaches, heartaches, what does it matter how my heart breaks? I should be happy with someone new, but my heart aches for you. Heartaches, heartaches, what does it matter how my heart breaks? I should be happy with someone new, but my heart aches and my heart breaks and my heart aches for you.
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
Saturdays were made for polka. Tune in to the Polka Jammer Network starting at 6 a.m. and Polka Hall of Famer Billy Bellina, Breakfast at BB at 8:30.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning.
I love when he makes Bob panic.
Yeah.
Watch
Panic.
out, if you're watching on Channel 15, you hear me. You don't hear me counting down, but all of a sudden you see Bob go, "What?"
Yeah, yeah. Put the
I want to see the guy, the guy just off camera with his fingers going 3, 2.
You could have done that if you had your
what's
headphones on.
what's worse? It's worse at the end when your stage manager. What do they call him in TV and radio land? Is it the stage manager?
Yeah,
He's the guy on
set
stage
mana- yeah.
directing.
Okay,
things, yes.
so the stage manager, you're interviewing somebody, and so they do the countdown from. They give you a 10-minute countdown, a 5-minute countdown, and a 3-minute, and then at about 2 minutes in, and then 2 minutes and 1 minute, they give you the 2-minute countdown.
No, they give you the.
Oh yeah, and we've got a guy who's in the middle of telling a story about his
And you gotta wrap that
suicide
up.
or something awful that you can't. I mean, like you don't want to shut somebody off when they're on a roll, especially if
you
this
turn
has
it
happened to
into-
me time and time. They're talking about something really potent, really really that needs to be heard, but yet we've got to go off the air. And
Well, folks, tune in again next week for It's a Cliffhanger.
this is a cliff. Oh, that's good. Yeah,
But that's the difference that we have here doing the long format.
we've got the European
We've got the
format.
running room to do
The
it.
European format.
No, the European format. Yeah. They don't, or they used to. I loved it that they, especially maybe not so much on the continent, but in England, the shows would be 17 minutes long, 5 minutes long.
Well, the segments would.
No, to the shows. I mean, like the
They were
shows could be
podcasts?
longer than just a half hour or whatever. I mean,
You can turn the knob on that and tighten it up, right?
what knob?
The knob up there on the hinge. Yeah, there you go. That's the one.
Oh, here. I was having trouble with my microphone. Hey, in our first segment, did you hear the wind coming in through the window?
It was an airplane.
Oh my God. Peter bought this huge mother
No,
fan.
they got it from
I think it's been here since the school was built.
Oh,
the custodians brought it in.
Oh, okay. It's actually to make my long hair trail behind me.
Give you the ultimate Fabio look.
Yeah, that's it.
The ultimate
give you
Fabio
the Fabio look.
Yes,
yes.
yeah. I'm getting ready for my second haircut of 2020, which will be probably in 2 weeks. And
Is it going to be a
I did the
Facebook
buzz.
event?
yeah. Oh, you got a buzz? No.
I buzzed myself.
Oh yeah, no. I'm doing the. I'm continuing my curls. It's my hera, as I call it, the last hera.
Oh.
Yeah. Because who knows?
Don't mess with my naturally curly hair.
That's right. And somebody said yesterday, Marge Leon stopped and she was walking by, and so we stood at the fence 6 feet apart or 8 feet apart talking, and my friend said that I looked like a Italian poet. And then James came by and
You
he said,
look like an Italian poet.
an Italian poet. And Lord Byron, or no, he wasn't even Italian. I think he died in Italy. But Lord Byron with the long hair, and I kind of like it. I really do kind of like it. But I wonder if people look at me. It's sort of like older men don't get away with what younger men can do, and the older men sort of.
Oh, I disagree. Older men can get away with a lot.
Oh, really?
Hey, Jay,
No.
can you turn the TV down? I think it's up a little. I can hear an echo with Bob talks.
No, that's just me.
No, it's not.
Oh,
No,
is
that's
there
how
an
I
echo
hear
when I
you.
talk?
Yeah. So, but get back to this Italian plumber thing.
It wasn't an Italian plumber.
no, that
oh,
was a-
no, but I do look a little like that guy. Who was that Italian plumber on one? It was that show with Bonnie Franklin.
One day at a time.
One day at a
Oh,
time. Didn't
yeah.
they have an Italian plumber?
Well, I don't know that he was Italian. That was Schneider. No, Schneider's not an Italian name.
I think he was played by an Italian.
It could have been.
Maybe.
Yeah.
At any rate.
I've been called an Italian plumber, but that's usually by somebody walking up behind me when I'm bending over. But that's different.
I don't want to picture that one. At any rate, hey,
He's got a bucket of Bondo, and he's about to spackle the crack shut.
oh, there's that fly.
All right.
I haven't seen a fly, incidentally.
Move
everyone.
on.
I don't know. I think the flies fly to Georgia or something, like the birds. The birds were so beautiful this summer, and they seem to not be as plentiful.
The hummingbirds have left.
The hummingbirds have left. The geese have left. Is there anyone else? Any other birds that fly south?
Well, the geese are going to come north soon, so
No, the geese go south for the winter, don't they?
they haven't flown south yet, though.
Oh, I swear I saw a V-shaped.
There's some geese that are around here all the time.
Oh,
It was a UFO.
it was a UFO.
Yes,
It was a
Bob.
UFO. I would miss seeing those animals out there. Saw a little chipmunk this week. I don't know where the rabbit has disappeared to. But the birds this summer were spectacular. Do robins stay for the winter?
I believe so, yes.
Where do birds stay when we don't see them in the wintertime? Are they in their nests? No, do they build nests? I'm not sure, Peter. You know the answer to this, don't you?
Somebody
probably
look that
don't.
up. Where do birds go in the winter that don't fly south?
Usually it's your attic.
In my attic.
Oh, yeah,
that could
yeah,
be.
yeah. Isn't that a question that we
Yeah,
should
but
have
before
known?
before there were people, there were no houses. And
Yeah.
where did birds go? I mean, you think
I'm
about
sure they
it.
find places to hunker down.
Birds. There's not much to a bird. It's not like there's a lot of body heat there. When it's 10 degrees below zero, so's the bird. I just can't figure there's much there. He's going to freeze.
Yeah, but they don't freeze. That's the interesting
Right.
thing. I think they do that. They shake like when you go out to a cold,
Like a small dog.
well, like us when we go out into the cold, and we come back. There's that
How do
shiver
birds
that you
survive in the winter? While many animals hibernate during the winter,
Yeah, here
some
we go.
species of birds go into torpor. This hibernation-like state allows birds to lower their body temperature and heart rate to conserve body heat. Like hibernation, it helps them survive the cold of the winter.
Okay.
Torpor, 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 torpor.
Yep,
How do you say that? Say that word, torpor.
torpor.
It's a strange word to.
Birds are well equipped to survive the coldest of temperatures. They store fat during the short days of winter, keep themselves warm during the long nights. During those freezing nights, they fluff their feathers to trap heat
I knew
and
that.
slow their
That's shaking.
metabolism to conserve energy.
Right.
Torpor.
But where are they staying the night? They're not at the Motel 6?
Probably in whatever they can
Where are
find
they
for
staying? I mean, I don't.
whatever they can find for shelter, Bob. That could be nests that they have. It could be other places.
They don't build a nest. I mean, I
They'll
would think
build
I
nests
would,
for their offspring.
Yes, I know, but I would think
That's a
that they would
springtime.
want to build a nest for themselves away from the chilled snow and sleet and freezing rain. No?
I don't know. Don't look at me. You look at me like I'm supposed to know this.
Well, I'm older and I can get. As I was saying, when you're old, you can't get away with anything because every time I forget something, somebody says, "Oh, you're."
Let me give you an example of what you can get away with when you're old.
All right, give me an example. Make it clean, friend.
No, sorry, I can't do that.
Yep.
It was. I'm down at. I happened to stop by Walk on Water down at the Congamong Lake. It used to be. What did it used to be?
What's the name of? Oh, it's a restaurant.
Yeah.
Walk.
Walk. Yeah.
W-O-K.
Walk on Water. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't now. I can't remember what it used to be, and I couldn't stop calling it that. But it's on the north end of the lake down there, and it's nice. There's a band outside, not too loud, but it's pleasant. Turns out it's a friend of mine drumming at the band.
Louis B's?
That's what it used to be.
Yeah.
But the band was called Looney Tunes, so it kind of caught my ear. I said, "Well, that sounds
Oh, they're
interesting.
around, yeah.
Let's go check that out." Turns out the drummer is an old friend of mine. He was a customer up in Amherst many years ago in the real job.
They've been pretty good for a long time. They've
Been around
for
a while. He plays
Were they
in
down
many
Southwick
other
Inn, or?
bands. And in fact, he plays in Amy, or at least he used to play in Amy Tozzi's band.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Emotion.
Yeah. So it was fun. And I'm sitting there. Now, here's Marion and I just kind of sitting there and having a couple glasses of wine.
Yeah.
And Marion, the waitress comes around. Do you want anything else? And, and Marion looks at me and she goes, "Well, I'm not sure I want a whole nother glass of wine. You want to split one with me?" And I look at the waitress and I just snap back. I go, "Yeah. Get her another glass of wine. I might get lucky tonight." And the waitress just went nuts. She just couldn't believe that I said that. Yes,
my
I could get
God.
away with that.
Oh.
Now, if I'm 25, that's expected.
Oh, no.
You know?
Yeah, you would never dare
would
say
never-
that. You
no.
would never dare
Especially
say
if we were on a date.
No.
No.
Nowadays, it'll get you arrested and a warrant.
Really? Oh, my God. How does Marion react when that,
Oh, she thought it was hilarious because the waitress just couldn't believe it. The waitress is like...
She couldn't believe that these two old geezers are actually going to
Yeah.
go to the Motel 6.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
wherever
Oh,
we-
boy.
Or wherever.
The waitress walks away and Marion goes, she's going to go home and tell all her friends that this old couple was
This
at
old
the
couple.
table.
There was an old couple that went to the drive-in movies this summer. Did you see that couple
There were
in the car?
we saw a couple of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The two of them in the car, it was just
It was
just love.
They wanted nostalgia. Hey,
Yeah.
remember what this used to be like?
Oh man, yes, yeah. Hey, let's Peter, can we play the 654 song? I'm gonna save "Blowing in the Wind" for a bit.
Okay.
All right. The 654 song is a Wisconsin selection from Chris Homan out there in Wisconsin. Thank you, Chris.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, Van Morrison. It's just a sweet piece called "Sweet Thing" by Van Morrison.
I like Van Morrison.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just-
We're gonna fade out toward the end because Van Morrison songs can go on, and they're wonderful if you listen to them. But they don't say. I mean, you'll see.
Let's see if
we're
I
gonna
remember
fade
how
out.
to do that.
No, we're not. Let's play the whole thing.
No, we can because it's like 17 minutes long.
It's only 4 minutes and 22 seconds.
Oh,
It
but
only
that's
seems
5
like
minutes. 5 minutes is.
Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Underwriting is brought to you by Boise Cascade Distribution, providing products and services needed for building material dealers, home improvement centers, and industrial customers. They offer everything from engineered wood and plywood to Drex decking and railing, James Hardy siding, and Advantech subfloor. Located at 33 Fowler Street Extension in Westfield and on the web at bc.com, they are committed to providing quality products, great service, convenience, and value.
I'm Mark Auerbach. Join me every Friday at 8 a.m. for ArtsBeat, where you'll meet interesting actors, directors, designers, and musicians here in Western New England.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning, and it is what is it? September 8th. I gotta get the
Hey,
right.
did you know Mark Auerbach is debuting a new
Yeah.
show in October?
I'm having trouble hearing here, Peter.
You may want to adjust your headphones.
Am I? Wait a minute.
Where are you plugged into?
I think I know why.
You're not plugged in again.
He's got an air gap. It's that air gap.
Is that
thing.
this thing here that I'm right here?
Yeah, plug it into the little jack there. Yeah, then you
Yeah.
then you
All
can
right,
all of a sudden you can
Let's
hear.
just see here.
Take the male end and you plug it into the female end.
I
And-
don't know. I'm having trouble with this. I've always
Jay,
had
you want to
trouble.
assist?
I'm going to go tie it in a knot.
All right.
Okay.
I'll come right over here and stand 6 feet apart there, Jay.
Oh, for cripe's sakes, Bob, he's fine.
Yeah.
Take the other microphone while he's doing that.
Over here?
Yeah, microphone number 4. Then we can talk.
Oh, there we are. There we are. Now I can hear that microphone. I
You
can
hear
this
that microphone?
Yeah?
You can't hear yourself?
No, I couldn't hear it on the other microphone for some reason. Now I can hear myself.
Did you plug into that one?
I don't know what I plugged
Jay
in.
plugged you in while you were talking on the other microphone.
Can you hear me?
I can. Can the folks out there hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can
Bob.
you hear me now?
Yeah.
Bob,
Hey,
we
look
could
at-
hear you before too.
Look at this. Look at the fog is lifting outside.
If
Are we
you're
gonna
he-
have a nice day outside?
If you're heading
today?
outside, it might be kind of nice today. It's going to start getting humid.
86 today.
Yeah.
Oh, 86.
That's why I went
gotta
back to
say,
shorts.
Wasn't this a Labor Day weather weekend for the?
Oh, it was.
for the
It was
ages?
beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, it was nice.
Oh my gosh! I sat on my back porch, and my back deck, and I'm reading a book. Incidentally, next week is with Jessica Martin, and Bill Westerlin is going to come in. Believe it or not, from Artworks, I hope.
Cool.
And we're going to have a discussion of a very interesting, I would say, disturbing novel, but a timely novel.
Really?
That, he suggested called My Dark Vanessa. My Dark Vanessa. You've got to Google it, and if you feel like reading it beforehand, it is a really interesting novel in this day and age of Me Too, and it sparks a lot of questions. And so I've been sitting on my back porch. You know, when you have a deadline, it's like homework. I have to read the novel. Yeah. Did you read all those novels in high school, or all those books in high school that you were supposed to, Jay? I'm looking at you and I'm thinking, I don't know whether he did or not.
I read every back cover synopsis that I could find. Book reports.
What did you do on book reports? You go out and buy the Cliff Notes?
Cliff Notes, yeah.
And then you did the report from
built
the Cliff Notes.
Yeah. Well, I got good at skimming books. I was never a book reader. I couldn't sit. There's very few books I would ever sit down and read cover to cover.
Yeah.
The one that I recall reading in the 80s, though, it wasn't that long ago, but I read it in the 80s, was I picked up Stephen King's The Stand. I could not put that down. That was
huge. That's a huge book. It's
it is
40,000 pages.
Whatever it was, I just couldn't stop. Every night I'd get home and read another couple of chapters of that.
Yeah.
And what's really weird is now it's coming true, if you think about it.
Oh yeah.
All of because that's how that whole book started, was from a virus.
Yes. They're Stephen King's books are the kind that you can't put down. Jessica is a fanatic Stephen
But I'm not
King
a huge Stephen King fan. What was the Christine was the car.
No, Cujo. Cujo was the
Cujo
dog.
was the dog. Yeah.
Cujo was the dog. Christine was the car.
And Christine was the car, and then
This is the car that acted up against you?
No, it was a possessed car.
Yes.
And so you got in it and it would crash? Because that would seem like kamikaze territory or something.
Well, I think it would chase you and stalk you and do nasty things. And then Carrie was another one. That was another. That was made into a movie.
That's right.
And
well,
so
The
was
Stand, I
Christine.
think, was made into a TV series.
It was made into like a 3 or 4
Miniseries.
series.
Yeah. Have you seen it?
I have, and it was still not as good as the book. Usually, I'm one of those guys that I like the movie. I'll wait for the movie to come out.
Oh, yeah.
But in this case, I read the book, and I'm like, I mean, it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I
don't know. At Holy Cross, I was an English major, and the professors used to give us a book list, and we would do a book a week.
Wow.
And there was no way that I could read a 700-page book a week. There was no way. And I'm thinking, how does he expect us to do this? And he must, in the back of his mind, know that we have no way of reading unless we read every moment once we leave class.
Well, you were an English major.
I know. Well, I was an English major with a roommate who liked to go out at night and to.
That was gonna be my thing. That's how they keep you from going out
especially in our
at night.
senior year.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I don't know how I did my homework, to tell you the truth. It's a wonder that I graduated.
My memories of my post-high school days are fuzzy, to say the least. What the heck did I learn? My high school days were fuzzy. I mean, the movie Dazed and Confused? And
Yes,
I think
that was
a
you.
couple of those. That was when I went out. Those were my high school days. It was the same years in the 70s. And, all the cars, all the cool cars that were in that movie, those were the cool cars that me and my friends drove.
Did you have a beard those days? In those days, no, you had long hair.
I had long hair. The beard wasn't grown. I had a mustache.
Yeah.
So, but
And at what age were you smoking? Because you look like you might have been smoking as a kid.
smoking what?
Cigarettes.
No, I was not a cigarette.
Different kind of
smoker.
cigarette, Bob.
Oh, okay.
I didn't say that. I'm making no
You've alluded to
admission.
it so many times, and the statute of limitations is over.
I'm making no admissions.
Oh no,
Right.
it's an interesting. Well, I'll make the admission that that marijuana was considered a hard drug when I went to school. I mean, like we were. Oh
it's because you
no,
went to
I don't.
Catholic
I mean,
school.
we weren't jazz musicians or on.
But yet you could get liquored up every night.
Beatniks.
Yeah, we weren't beatniks either. We were just these nerds, and I even as a college senior, I remember somebody at a bar opening up, wanting to sell us something, and opening up this box, and there were all these blunts and whatever, and we were like shocked. I mean, I don't know, maybe could have been that I was just sheltered or something. I have no idea.
Pete,
but
can
I
you
did not
see
have
him-
the
Can you see him back in a beatnik bar, reading poetry on the stage?
With his
of a
current hair,
beatnik
I could.
bar? It's right there.
with my current hair.
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
Italian
cool,
poet
man.
hair.
And he's got to have the little beret thing,
Beat. And there'd be like a song, and I'd be beating to the, doing that. What do you call it?
Come here on Thursday
Snapping
and
my fingers.
Come here on Thursday and dress up for the acoustic cafe. You'll look like the Beatnik.
Oh yeah. I'll come in and I'll do a little
Jacques, and you can do a bit with Jacques and Jezebel.
I'll do some Allen Ginsberg poetry or something.
They wouldn't clap back then. The guy would stand up. He would read his poem, and then
they'd all snap their fingers.
Oh, then you snap your hands at the end. Yeah,
man, cool,
man. Neat. Hey, let's see. I am going to play for you a song by Sam Cooke, and I saw a wonderful documentary this week called you've got to see it. It's called "The Two Killings of Sam Cooke." You remember Sam Cooke at all, Jay and
Sam?
Peter?
Yeah, I know Sam Cooke.
Music-wise?
Yeah, music-wise.
Sam Cooke did some great music. Yeah,
incredible music. He was murdered, as a matter of fact.
That I didn't know.
Yeah, in a motel.
Yep.
And the woman that did it was this is what happened. He was at a bar, and he was a womanizer, and he picked up a woman, and he went to a motel. Then apparently, according to the story that this ended up to being a prostitute, she told that he had assaulted her, and so she ran to the office, where the woman at the office took her gun out and shot him like 3 or 4 times or something. Later on, we find out that it may have been set up, that the woman had connections with the mafia. And the reason why he was a danger was he was working to establish a company back then of musicians and singers. He was working on a
like
record
a union
label,
or something.
A record label. No, he was going to have his own record label.
Oh, okay.
And he had the mafia was really controlling a lot of the record. You remember payola and all of that sort of stuff. So the mafia was kind of like involved, and there is some thought that the mafia may have been involved in the murder of Sam Cooke. But the two killings of Sam Cooke, of course, are he died, and he would have become. He was changing his music. He, instead of being the white man's singer, like a black Perry Como, he was turning into an activist, and he was realizing that he needed to speak as an artist. So he wrote "A Change Is Gonna Come," and he started doing music. And ironically, one of the first things that he did, he ended his shows with a song written by the white folk singer Bob Dylan, of course, "Blowin' in the Wind." And so that's what I'm going to play. And I recommend you watching this as a lesson to you what it was back then, and you can compare it to what it is now. And the life story of Sam Cooke is worth hearing.
He wrote a lot of music.
Oh, yeah.
that other people made famous. You know, Cupid.
Wonderful
World, which of course everybody attributes to who's Satchmo? Why can't I think of his name?
Louis Armstrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
Twistin' the Night Away that was
Sam Cooke.
That was his music. That's what he had wrote the song, but other people did it and really got more famous on it.
He's an artist, like Patsy Cline, who really we need to remember. And so I'm going to play "Blowing in the Wind." This is from a live version, a television show, "Blowing in the Wind."
Amen. I like that. That's for me, How many roads must a man walk down before he's called a man? Tell me, how many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? Tell me, how many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? No, the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer, blowing in the wind. Ha. How many times must a man look up before he sees the sky? Tell me, how many ears must one man have before he can hear people cry? What I want to know is how many deaths will it take till he knows? Too many people have died. Oh, the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer somewhere in the wind. How many years can a mountain exist before it's washed down to the sea? Tell me, how many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free? What I want to know is how many times can a man turn his head pretending that he just doesn't see? No, the answer, my friend, blowing in the wind. The answer, blowing in the wind. Blowing in the wind, blowing in the wind. The answer, somewhere in the wind. Oh, that answer is somewhere in the wind. Oh, and I gotta go. I don't wanna, but I gotta go.
Underwriting for Community Radio on WSKB is brought to you in part by Rockies. Over 30 convenient locations throughout Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Connecticut, and Florida. One of the nation's largest ACE dealers. Expertise and great product selection in paint, hardware, lawn and garden. That's Rockies. Rock solid service since 1926. On the web at rockies.com.
Hi, it's Bob Plass, and I have Wow, It's Tuesday, every Tuesday, 6 to 8. Wow, it's Tuesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
I did it!
Saturdays were made for polka. Tune in to the Polka Jammer Network starting at 6 a.m. and Polka Hall of Famer Billy Bellina, Breakfast at BB at 8:30.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning, and it is September 8th. Who can believe that it's September already?
Where did summer go? I've been asking this all summer, but where did summer go?
It's only like 2 months if you really, if you really think about it. It's
yeah,
like
but
8.
it's from a kid's point of view, summer always seems to last forever. I mean,
isn't that true?
Yeah, this year has been weird because, again, from a kid's point of view, they really haven't been in school since March, and then kind of nobody let them get out of the house for the whole summer. If you're lucky enough to have a pool or something, I mean, you could go in the pool, but run around the backyard. But this has been just a summer.
I know. I'm wondering what the fall is going to bring, or the winter. The idea of being in the house, I've got to make it cozy. I think maybe I'll become a very big wine drinker. I don't know. I don't know, or soup maker. I'm going to make soup. And
chicken soup?
and wine. Oh, chicken soup!
Chicken soup fixes everything.
Lentil soup. I've discovered the green lentil. Everyone, Have you cooked with green lentils?
No, Marion likes chicken. She makes a great chicken soup. She'll fix up a chicken soup with pasta. You know, the little tiny macaroni elbows.
Lovely. Yes, sure.
And it's the best in the world. And in the wintertime, there's always a bucket of that. A bucket. Well, there's a big something of it in a pot of that in the refrigerator, so I can just scoop out what I want, warm it up in the microwave. That's how when I come in from a cold something outside, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Oh man,
Mama Marion's.
I've got to learn how to freeze more things. I mean, I've got to.
What, in the wintertime?
I bought a vacuum sealer. It was wonderful for
you
freezing
did.
things. So I can portion out for like my type of thing where I just have one person.
Sure.
I portion for two people in case my girlfriend's over. Otherwise, I have leftovers.
It's great because I keep the soup or I keep everything in little containers in the fridge, and I try to eat those containers, but it really gets in the way of my menus.
Don't you eat what's in the containers?
Did I say I ate the containers?
That's what you said.
It explains a lot, folks. Explains it a heck of a lot.
Now, Marion makes some wonderful stuff, but when it's my turn to cook, that's when you see the the guy driving up the road.
Oh,
right?
stop.
You know, I mean,
stop. You're an Italian, you can cook.
What, really?
Yeah,
No
I
one ever
think
told me
Italians.
that.
I mean, like Italians.
Just because I'm Italian did not mean I can
You
cook.
throw a little sauce, a little gravy into the bowl.
Well, at least you know it's gravy.
Yeah, you call it
not
gravy.
sauce,
Yeah. It's a little gravy. But I got to do a shout out to the Big Y's coconut cod. Have you ever had the coconut cod at the Big Y?
Cod. Is that fish?
It's cod.
I'm not a fan of cod.
Loins of cod that have coconut on them, and it's like a coating.
I like coconut anything. I like coconut shrimp.
Oh,
shrimp is
coconut crusted.
I'm telling
but
you,
I'm not a big fish eater. But I'll eat swordfish.
Yeah,
shrimp, and fish and chips. So. Yeah, well, that's not really.
All right, so go to the Big Y and you, Jay, and you purchase a codfish, coconut cod loin at their fish department, and you cook it up or you fry it or you bake it. It's really tasty, I gotta say. It's one of my go-tos.
As long as it's got really crusty, breaded.
Oh yeah, it does. Have you ever had it, Peter? The coconut cod?
No.
Wild.
And I have to have a giant jar of tartar sauce and lemon.
I make my own tartar.
Tartar?
Well, that's not much. Mayonnaise and relish.
I just found that out. I used to go out and spend all kinds of money on fancy tartar sauce, and Marion, I'm like, we're out of tartar sauce, and Marion goes, I can make that. Really? You know how to make that? Dumps mayonnaise and dumps relish, and whips it up.
All you do, mayonnaise and everything. You can put mayonnaise on anything.
Everything.
I don't care. Yeah, really. I love it. Hey, Peter, I think today we've got Kevin Coughlin coming in, don't we?
If he unmutes, sure.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Hey,
there he is, Dr. Kevin Coughlin. Where are you?
I'm in my office. I thought I would be able to make it to the studio this morning, but fortunately, I had an early patient because of the holiday weekend.
Oh,
so
my gosh,
I decided
yes.
to do it by Zoom today.
I'm going to buy you a webcam.
Oh.
Yes.
Because I don't like looking at your name there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I should be all set with my schedule for next month.
Well, I love that.
Well, just in case, though, we have a backup
but we
plan.
get you a webcam so that you could to use it at home and your friends and family.
Like you're not out Zooming enough.
No, like you're not on. So you're on. You have a podcast. Are you visual on your podcast? I can't remember what a podcast is. Is it visual?
Can be either.
It can be visual. Mine are strictly audio.
Yeah, we haven't. We were going to get him to the visual point, then COVID hit.
Yes. Yeah.
I see.
We had plans to get him to the visual part of it, but then, all hell broke loose.
Yeah. Hey, let's do a formal introduction of you. Dr. Kevin Coughlin is from Ascent Dental Solutions, and Ascent Dental Spa. Is that correct? Did I get the spa?
Laser Aesthetics.
What is it called?
Ascent laser aesthetics.
Oh yes,
It focuses on the non-surgical aspects of making you beautiful on the outside. Tattoo removal, hair removal, body fat removal, muscle recontouring, PDO suturing, which is like a lunchtime facelift, Botox, fillers, lasers, intense pulse light, and radio frequency. It's a whole gamut
Holy
of
mother!
things to
What a list!
protect and improve our appearances in a non-surgical means.
Uh-huh. Could you do anything about my appearance on television?
Absolutely not.
I really, I think I have been saying that the lighting in here, we have sort of LED Kmart lighting, okay, from overhead. And,
Bob, the
yes.
lighting was quite expensive. Actually, it's state of the art.
Oh, state of the art. Okay.
Because
okay.
it's balances daylight and studio light.
Yeah, stop trying to blame.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And it's quite even lighting.
Do you think it's the
even
monitor
lighting.
that I'm looking at, Peter, that
Probably, Bob.
makes me look so pale?
No.
No, you are pale.
You really
Bob.
look that way.
I am pale. Yeah. Dr. Kevin Coughlin, is there anything you can do about my paleness?
Well, let me tell you what happened to me this week. I had an interesting case.
Yes, tell me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this will be a good segue. I had a gentleman come in, which I thought was for Botox consult.
Mm-hmm.
And this gentleman was handsome. He didn't have a wrinkle on his face.
Uh-huh.
He looked like he could be a male model. And his complaint was hyperhidrosis, which is the medical term for excessive sweating. Excessive sweating in the hands, actually. And this individual said that he had been suffering with this since he was about 7 or 8 years of age. And I asked to look at his palms of his hands during my examination, and there was actual perspiration dropping from his hands. And
wow.
I've seen a lot over the last 6 to 7 years in the aesthetic field, but I had not seen the condition this severe. Usually it's in the axillary or underarm area where people have excessive sweating.
Uh-huh.
And for those who aren't up on the aesthetic part of medicine, many times a Botox injection can reduce or eliminate this excessive sweating or hyperhidrosis. And I gave him several injections in the palms of the hand to hopefully rectify and resolve the problem. I would expect in a severe case like this, it'll need 2 to 3 sessions, each session approximately 4 to 6 weeks apart. And I'm hoping I can control it.
With Botox controls this?
Yes. What happens is the muscles that contract to excrete the perspiration or the sweat can be relaxed to the point where it reduces or eliminates this particular problem. But what this gentleman said is he said, I'm a little embarrassed to hold my girlfriend's hand. I really detest shaking someone's hand. He said, because my hands are just so wet from perspiration.
Well, is this a normal case where people sweat from the hands constantly?
To be honest with you, this was the most severe case that I've seen in my 6 or 7 years. I have seen it, but predominantly it's from the axillary or underarm area. And,
can I ask? I thought sweating was to eliminate excess moisture from your body.
It's actually to control the temperature of your body. As you perspire, you're reducing the heat, and it helps control what they call the basal metabolic rate, or just the core temperature. So as you perspire, the moisture on your skin evaporates and it cools the body down. So it's not to get rid of moisture, it's actually to control body temperature.
So this man or somebody that has this condition would be dehydrated a lot of the time because he's losing so much fluid?
Exactly, yes. In other words, there's a point where, in this particular case, it wasn't so much the dehydration, it was just the embarrassment of shaking someone's hand, touching someone, because of the excessive moisture that was developing in the hand region.
Wow. I often wonder. There was a gentleman on. Recently, I was thinking about this because the man that doesn't wash. There's some man who says that hadn't had a shower or bath in like 50 some odd years or something. That he doesn't believe in it. That the body produces its own. Antibodies, et cetera, et cetera. But I was thinking what that would be like to not wash under your arms. And then I started thinking about all these years of using deodorants to control our sweating. I wonder if that's such a good thing. And I've noticed that I have a low body temperature usually, so I don't really sweat a lot in the wintertime. Or whatever, but there'll be occasional times when sweat is popping out of me like you wouldn't believe. But it's only occasionally, actually, it happened once before I was going to go on to do my show Canoe. Jay will tell you he's not here right now. I don't know where he is, but he's left the studio. Oh, there you are, sitting at the desk with me. There he is. But I was sweating so much that the microphone was coming off of me, and it was terrible. But I wondered about that. I
remember they tried to tape it to you.
Yeah, and Jay tried to tape it to me, but
duct tape wouldn't work.
Duct tape. No, it was. That's. I would assume that would be what these people are suffering from. That it was like water on. I mean, it looked like my face looked like a stream. You know.
Well, it can be triggered from a thyroid condition. Where that thyroid, which regulates your metabolism, can be off. And it can be by just simple nerves. I think everyone has experienced going into a stressful situation where sometimes there's some perspiration, some anxiety. In this particular case, the medical component, according to this client or patient, said that medically he had tested negative. He had tried pharmaceutical agents, and he wanted to try Botox just because of the severity of the problem. And I believe we got a nice result. And,
really? Great. Does it happen immediately?
No. Sometimes you'll get an immediate result, but quite honestly, more than likely, you're looking at between 7 and 14 days before you see the full effect. And typically that effect will last for about 3 or 4 months as you neutralize these little pyloric muscles, these tiny little muscles that help secrete the perspiration. Over time, they stop doing it to the degree that they've been doing it, and that's the hope for this individual.
I get it.
I also added to our armamentarium the hydrofacial, which basically is a very expensive vacuum that we can place on your skin to remove the accretions in your pores. For
the what in my pores?
Acne. People who suffer from acne, blackheads, whiteheads, enlarged pores. It allows us to put a variety of different serums on the skin to bring the youthfulness and the glow back to the skin. Terrific device that I've used many times, but I was waiting for the latest model to come out.
Yes.
And that latest model came out, and that's also now part of the armamentarium at Ascent Laser Aesthetics.
Wow. So
even though I'm supposed to be talking about teeth and keeping your oral cavity healthy, I see a larger and larger demand for this non-surgical aesthetics to keep us youthful. And I think it's a good mixture of creating a beautiful smile and supporting the lips and the skin and the face around that smile.
Can I ask about skin? Well, yeah. Can I ask about skin? Is there anything that you can do to make the aging skin less thin?
Yes. You can do it through a variety of treatments, anything that's going to stimulate hyaluronic acid or collagen production. And that basically is stimulated by slight or minor damage. You can do that damage with microneedling, which are tiny, tiny little needles that generally are completely painless. And they inject into the epidermis or outer skin layer and dermis area, and it stimulates the tissue to create new collagen to thicken the tissue so that you don't have that crepey skin, that large pored skin, or just as you described, a thin skin. Typically, you're doing it every 4 to 6 weeks, 3 to 4 sessions, and then after that, 1 or 2 times a year for maintenance.
Wow.
That's the microneedling, and you
Yeah.
can add to that intense pulse light, or what they refer to as IPL, radio frequency, or laser. All three of those devices will accomplish the same thing, but you usually need less appointments with the laser. However, there potentially is more downtime with the laser.
I
So
see.
let's just say I was going to try to thicken that tissue and stimulate the hyaluronic acid and collagen. You might have 1 or 2 days of downtime where you'd want to stay out of the sun, and you might not want to go into the public because it'll look like you had a moderate burn on your skin.
Ah, yes, I had a friend who had that done. Yeah, it's exactly. So Doc, though, would I see these on QVC? I watch, and I never bought a thing on that QVC. I just watched them sell this stuff, but they're always talking about collagen in lotions and hyaluronic acid. Is that how you say
Correct?
it?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and I wondered whether lotions or any of that stuff where you're putting it on the skin, is that going to help?
It's not going to hurt you, but you have to understand as a consumer, those are topical agents. And the skin is the largest organ in the body. And the skin protects our body from pollutants. It protects our body from sun or radiation. So many times these hyaluronic acids and collagens that are inserted topically have a difficult time getting actually through the skin barrier and actually doing its effect. Whereas when you're using a microneedling device or filler injections, you're actually injecting the products that they're trying to do topically right into the epidermis and dermis area. So the results are much quicker and generally far better. So there's no downside, but the consumer just has to understand that people who have a phobia of needles, people who may be on a stricter financial budget and would like to consider a topical agent. But for those individuals who really have crepey skin, really have thin skin because of age or sun damage,
Right.
Generally you're going to need the injections or laser treatment or radio frequency or intense pulse light.
Because those need to be subdermal to build up the skin underneath, right, Kevin?
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Because what you want to do is you not only want to plump the skin up, but by doing that, you're also tightening the skin, which makes everyone look a lot more youthful and a lot healthier. So I'm certainly not advocating this for people who are happy, but many times as we age, we're looking for options besides facelifts and
Sure.
surgery.
I'm
And
trying.
I think
I'm picturing this instrument that you said has these tiny little needles. Is it? Describe what it looks like to us.
It almost looks, first of all, the handpieces come in different sizes. So they have a pen handpiece, which basically has only one needle in it. And that would be for under the eyes, very fine areas. Then they have other handpieces that will have between 10 and 20 little needles, and it's almost like a stamp. And then they have larger ones that are 35 to 50.
How
to
many?
even
How big is that? Is that like
Uh,
an inch of needles that are going on your
Yes, it
skin?
could be right, an inch by inch, 2 inches by 2 inches. Sometimes people, particularly females who have cellulite issues after giving birth,
Yeah.
they want to tighten their abdomen. They want to tighten different areas of their body.
Right.
You need a bigger pad. Let's call it just a
Yes.
pad or a stomp pad,
Yeah.
just to make the procedure go quicker and to get a larger area.
So this can
depending on the
you
area of the
works. It
body-
works all over your body then.
Oh,
In
absolutely.
every
yes.
area of your body. Are you doing that at Laser Aesthetics?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole, the entire body, everyone has a different problem. Typically, when I started, the focus was really the neck or
Right.
décolleté area in the face. But as people, many times people are very obsessed with the appearance of their hands. Their
Yeah.
hands tell their age, and they're looking at improving that texture, that tone and tightness. And these devices can be used on the hand and also in the abdomen area. Many times, women in particular, but also men, start to get a little self-conscious as the areas start to, as we say, sag and drag. Okay, and that's part of the aging process. And good diet, good exercise, avoidance of the sun. But everybody needs a little kickstart, and these devices are available for improvement if the client so desires.
Wild. Hey, that is such good information. That at Ascent Laser.
It's on the
Aesthetics.
screen, Bob.
Now, aesthetics, is that spelled AESTHETICS, or is there just
And you can
E?
also drop the A.
Oh, there it is on the screen there. Okay,
I took it
for
right off his
everybody.
website, so I'm spelling it just like the website does.
There we go. Aesthetics. And aesthetics is beauty, isn't that right? Is that is that what the word aesthetic means? Something beautiful, aesthetic?
Beautiful and balanced. What you're trying to do is, we've all seen actors and actresses that have little quirks in their smile or in their nose or cheeks.
Mhm.
It's just a balance of trying to provide something that I believe should be natural looking, but aesthetically pleasing to the eye. And
Gotcha.
generally, the more balanced your body is, your smile and your face, generally, the better the results.
So let's get out there and balance our smiles and faces, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I love this. Hey, we're going to take a break, and I'm going to play a song. I watched Porgy and Bess on the Met Opera for free this week. Have you ever seen Porgy and Bess, or do you know that show by George Gershwin and Ira?
I personally do not. No.
You don't know anything from
Isn't it
Porgy and Bess?
Pygmalion?
What
I
about a
wouldn't say I
song
don't
from?
know anything.
Isn't it a takeoff of Pygmalion,
Pardon?
Bob? Isn't it a takeoff of Pygmalion?
No, that's My Fair Lady.
Okay.
No. Porgy and Bess is actually based on a novel by Dubois Hayward, I think his name is.
Yeah,
and-
Dr. Coughlin, we would have never got that.
No. It takes place in Catfish Row, and some of the big hits from it. Actually, you think of it as a Broadway show. You think of George Gershwin as writing Broadway. This was his. He really, in the last days of his life or the last years of his life, wanted to go into opera and write more classical stuff. And this is his only opera. And it has the song "Summertime When the Living Is Easy." Do you know that?
I love that song.
Yeah. I got plenty of nothing, and nothing's plenty for me. You got that? Remember that?
Yep.
And a woman is a sometime thing. That maybe it's not. And my man's gone down. There's some really great songs. Well, I got Ray Charles singing one of the songs in this. It's called "There's a Boat That's Leaving Soon for New York." You can see the movie that Sidney Poitier plays Porgy, and I think Dorothy Dandridge, maybe I'm wrong, plays Bess, who's addicted to some substances and also is addicted or loves Porgy. And what's very interesting, I learned so much in watching the show. It's George Gershwin put it in his contract. Anytime you produce Porgy and Bess, you have to produce it with an all-black cast because it takes place in Catfish Row, and it talks about the black experience. And it's interesting when you think about it that this great opera that we connect with the black experience was written by a white man. And but it certainly is in one of those things that you should see sometime in your life. Porgy and Bess. So this is Ray Charles, of all people, singing "There's a Boat That's Leaving Soon for New York."
There's a boat leaving soon for New York. Yeah, come with me. That's where we belong, sister. You and me can live that high life in New York. Yeah, you better come with me, girl. There you can't go wrong. I'll buy you the swellest mansion up on Upper Fifth Avenue. And through Harlem we're gonna go strutting, and there'll be nothing too good for you. I'll dress you in silks and satins, in the latest Paris styles. All the blues you'll be forgetting, there'll be no fretting, just nothing but smiles. Come along with me, that's the place. Don't be a fool, come along, come along. Honey, I'm gonna buy you the swellest mansion up on Upper Fifth Avenue. And through Harlem, you know we gonna go strutting. And there'll be nothing too good for you. Yeah, I'm gonna dress you in silks and satins, don't worry about that. And in the latest Paris styles. All the blues you'll be forgetting, there'll be no fretting, just nothing but smiles. Come along with me, that's the place. Don't be a fool, come along, come along. There's a boat that's leaving soon for New York. Girl, you better come with me now. That's where we belong. Oh, sister, oh, that's where we belong. That's where we belong.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Comcast and Xfinity.com, offering Xfinity TV, Internet, home phone, and home security services. Information on all that Xfinity has to offer in the Westfield area is available online at Xfinity.com.
Underwriting for community radio is provided by the YMCA of Greater Westfield. Every day, the YMCA strengthens the community through programs and services focused on youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility. For all the Y's many programs and services, visit us on the web at www.westfieldymca.org. The YMCA, 67 Court Street in downtown Westfield. We're more than a gym. We're a cause.
Join me, Tina Gorman, each week from 6 to 8 a.m. for Wake Up Wednesday, when my guests and I discuss health, wellness, and lifestyle reimagined.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Wow, September 8th, 2020 and counting. My name is Bob Pless. I'm here with Pete Coles, the kitten of the keys at the board. There you are. And on the phone, actually on Zoom, without picture, although we have his picture on our screen, is Dr. Kevin Coughlin from Ascent Dental Care and Ascent Laser Aesthetics and Ascent Dental, I said that.
Solutions.
Ascent Solutions, Dental Solutions. Hey, Dr. Kevin, I went to the dentist last week and I found the answer to my burning mouth syndrome.
Well, terrific. What was the diagnosis?
My grinding of my teeth without my having a night guard. I lost my night guard just prior to COVID-19 striking in March, and I had made an appointment to get that fixed. So I've been without a night guard for 6 months now, and the doc thinks that because I'm such a grinder of teeth, that by getting me my night guard, that this is going to be the answer.
I hope they're correct, and you'll know soon enough, correct?
I will know soon enough. I got to pick it up this week, and we'll see. The grinding of teeth, Botox also helps with that, doesn't it?
It does. What you really want to do, and I'm sure your dentist has discussed it with you, because you've got a great clinician, but the bottom line is
Montgomery Dental up there in Chicopee, my friends.
You want to find out what the cause is. Is the cause to release nervous tension? And some people grind just to relieve tension, just like some people drink, smoke, eat. There's a variety of reasons, but your neurological system puts you in a grinding mode just because you have some tension and anxiety. Another common cause of grinding and biting, hard or bruxing or clenching.
It's called bruxism, Bruxism.
Bruxism is the medical term when someone grinds their teeth excessively. Sometimes young parents will come in and they'll say their little boy or little girl, they hear them at night grinding their teeth. And generally, a young person like that generally doesn't have any excessive stress in their life. And typically what it is as permanent teeth start to come in and baby teeth are lost, the bite is slightly off because the jaw's growing, the teeth are erupting, and subconsciously the patient is trying to get their bite corrected, and they're doing that by grinding their teeth together. And that's another cause, fairly common, that people grind or brux or clench. And once you know that diagnosis, the treatment is what a night guard will do in cases that I just discussed. It's not going to solve your problem.
Right.
It just simply avoids you from damaging your teeth, or in your case, possibly your tongue. Whereas what you're looking for is the root of the cause, so you don't need the night guard at all. But most of us are Americans, and we're looking for the pill to get rid of the headache rather than the cause of the headache.
Oh, man.
We're looking for some kind of magic wand to make us thin or muscular rather than exercising and eating right.
You know what, Dr. Coughlin, Dr. Gary Gorman says the same exact thing talking about health and wellness. He said, sometimes it's not a bad thing to if you got a cold or a fever, don't take medication for it, just have the fever.
Right. Let your body and your immune system work. And understand that part of health sometimes is being a little unhealthy. And the key is, I know Dr. Gorman personally and professionally, and I know I'm slightly biased, but he's extremely well educated. He has a holistic approach to treatment. And many times we rush to medications. And maybe a possible segue, I got a very bad review last week or the week before on Google. I won't say it never happens, but it happened. And basically what it was sedation. And typically the removal of wisdom teeth are very traumatic for most people.
Right.
And I'm amazed with all this information about opioids, how many times people are requesting the strongest possible pain relievers and the most mood altering of drugs, so that the removal of teeth, whether it be wisdom teeth or other teeth, be the least traumatic as possible. And there's always a trade-off. How much medication and what kinds of medication are we going to give a quote healthy person just basically due to anxiety in fear of the unknown? And there's a risk with these medications, and this individual wanted more medication.
Isn't there limits now in the federal government to how much you can prescribe with things like that?
There is, and I don't necessarily know if the public is fully aware of that. All they're interested in is whack me out as much as possible,
Right.
so I know nothing, see nothing, hear nothing. And there's a risk to the patient, particularly in young people who may or may not have been experimenting with other kinds of medication, whether they be over the counter or
On something like that, do you talk to the
public,
patient
I
and
think
see?
sometimes has unrealistic expectations. If you're going to have 4 impacted teeth out, you can sort of expect that you're going to have pain for 3 to 5 days.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Got to heal up.
Something that you could possibly tolerate, but many people today, and the parents are generally sitting in the room for these consultations.
Yes.
Are saying, I want more medication. I want stronger medication. I don't want my son or daughter to feel or know anything. And there's a trade-off for that. I know the medical profession and the dental profession is accused many times of overprescribing, but I think there's another side of the story, and that's that patient constantly making demands. And when you don't answer their demands in today's social network, the next thing you know is the doctor doesn't care. The
Yes.
doctor wouldn't take care of my pain, but they fail to say that after 22 prescriptions, they want a 23rd and a 24th prescription.
Yeah.
That's not mentioned on the online post.
Sure.
And I just think that if people are going to post, they probably should post the truth and the entire story. But that's not the way the system works right now.
Well,
and
Kevin,
I had that same experience. I was doing psychotherapy in at Bronx Lebanon Hospital. Believe it or not, you guys, I actually worked in a psychiatric clinic.
I remember you telling us that.
Yeah, as doing long-term psychotherapy with folks up there, and I had a client who was prescribed Ativan, and for her anxiety. Now, Ativan is one of those very highly addictive drugs, and she came in week after week with excuses why she had needed another prescription. And sooner or later, I caught on. Boy, was I the subject of and the internet was not alive. It was the Pony Express back then. But I really got lambasted by this woman, and I wondered whether she had taken it out there saying that my psychiatrist or my therapist will not, and actually I was doing it with a psychiatrist because I couldn't write a prescription. I have to deal with the client, the psychiatrist at the clinic, and we have a long discussion,
Sure, yeah.
and then they give it. And that I can see, Doc, where someone who perhaps has an addiction is doing everything they can and in their power to solve things.
They're putting pressure on the clinician.
Yeah.
It's very easy on the outside to simply say, no, we're not going to prescribe. But in today's social network, within minutes, thousands, if not millions of people understand, at least from one point of view, that this doctor is uncaring, this doctor refuses to provide pain medication, where quite honestly, I've never met a doctor who doesn't want to make it as comfortable as possible.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you have to weigh the pluses and minuses of what's being done. How much medication is considered what I would, let's just say, within the normal limits. And for some people, that is not going to be enough. And in my opinion, the mistake is selecting those patients for care and treatment. You have to be astute today to simply say, you know what, I'm not good enough, smart enough, or talented enough to treat Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and somebody else should.
I see.
Part of
What
me
if-
says
what-
all I'm doing is dumping a difficult patient onto another comrade. And the other part of me says, you know what? In today's day and age, people can destroy a reputation
Oh,
in a couple of
man,
minutes.
so easily,
And I
Doc.
don't know if the consumer really is savvy enough when you hear doctor doesn't care, doctor hurt me, doctor would not give me medication.
Yeah.
You might want to look into that particular post
Yes.
and
Yo,
what's
my gosh.
behind
Yeah.
that post.
Don't I know that as well? Because they have a Rate the Professor. So there's a ratetheprofessor.com, and you can go on there, and suppose your professor gave you a bad mark, and he had really, or she had thought it out really thoughtfully and given you a mark that you thought you didn't deserve. You can go on there and give low ratings, and it's a really hard one in this day and age. I think the proof is in the pudding. Meet a doctor, don't you say, and get to know that doctor, and actually tell the doctor the truth. If you have a problem with drugs, or I don't know how it works with you, Kevin, but when someone comes in and they're addicted to a particular kind of drug, you need to know that information without making a judgment, don't you? I mean, like, in order to be able to prescribe stuff, right?
And I think consumers and patients probably don't realize it, but for a dentist, one of probably the more painful and difficult things that a dentist does is the removal of wisdom teeth. And generally, a parent is present during the consult because these young men and women are generally under the age of 21.
Sure.
And for those individuals actually under the age of 25, in many cases, the parents are paying the bill. So even though legally I don't need a parental permission to remove teeth because they can legally make that decision, in most cases, mom and dad are paying the bill. And for somebody like me, I simply look at it and say, if my son or daughters came home with a $2,000 or $3,000 bill and hadn't explained it to me or made me aware of it, I'd probably be a little irritated. So I generally like the parents present, but I always say during the consult, if John or Mary want to talk to me in private, if there's a possibility of pregnancy, if there's medications either prescribed or non-prescribed that you're doing on a regular basis,
right?
I'd like to know it. And typically what it is it's cocaine or marijuana.
Yeah.
And they're smoking 3-4 times a day. And then they're asking to be put under some kind of sedation. And the combination of those medications can be dangerous to them. And when the parent is 2 to 3 feet away, my experience over 38 years is most of the time the parents have very little idea what their son and daughter are actually doing.
Right.
Amen to that.
They might think they know what's being done, but in many cases, it's not.
Yeah.
So particularly for young girls who are sexually active and they're potentially could be pregnant, I don't think it's a good idea to put IV sedation or general anesthesia for the removal of wisdom teeth. Generally, they're not emergency procedures. They're not life and death procedures.
Right.
And my advice would be to wait. But if you don't know that, and it's an uncomfortable talking point because mom and dad are right there in the consult, for me and Cent Dental Care, we generally ask, would the parent mind or have the young adult call me on the phone or set up a separate appointment when a parent isn't present so that the doctor's fully aware of the potential risk.
Doc, I got a question then. That would this lead to then a sort of like when you take when you have surgery, you sign a waiver or something that says you won't hold with those waivers, but maybe there's a sheet that says if you are, I am fully aware that, or something about drug use, pregnancy, etc., and I don't know where I'm going with this, but
informed consent, in my opinion, should not only be signed, but they should be discussed orally. And that brings up another point. Over and over again, I'll hear, well, Dr. Coughlin, why do I have to pay for a consult? Why is it necessary that there's a charge for a consult?
Oh, for God's sakes.
I personally believe the consult is actually more important than the actual treatment. Just because you've signed the paper, that just protects me in court that you were informed. But overall, I'm more concerned that I keep you healthy and we don't have a terrible adverse effect.
Yeah.
Particularly with sedation, there's always a chance of brain damage. There's always a chance of medical complications because you're injecting drugs generally into healthy people for only one reason. They have anxiety and fear.
Right.
You have to ask yourself, is it worth the risk? Is it worth the extra cost? In my own personal experiences, day in and day out, people are requesting that more and more. And there's probably a lot of social reasons for that, but I do believe many of our young people are protected to the point of ludicrousy.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't walk without a helmet. You can't move without safeguards. And the removal of teeth now becomes an extremely traumatic situation, and many people can't deal with it. They just can't.
You know that I'm one of those, and indeed, it might even explain my bruxism, my grinding of the teeth, that I am really anxious, and I've dealt with it for years. So, it's a discussion that you have with your physician around your mental illness or your mental state, and that's not to say that there's anything wrong with being anxious. Or anything. Well, there's a lot wrong with substance abuse. However, once addicted, you're at the mercy of that substance, and it's a mental illness. Believe it or not, people don't actually know that. So it's an important sort of thing to be talking and to letting your doctor, and I think probably, Doc, don't you think that we think of medical doctors as medical doctors, and we think of dentists as dentists, not as a medical doctor in a way that is treating you whole as a whole body. Your head, your teeth are part of your body. I mean, what do you say to that?
And for dentistry in particular, it depends the type of dentist that you're seeing and the type of practice that dentist does. I know many dentists that don't do any surgical procedures at all.
Yes.
They simply will place single crowns. They'll clean your teeth and they'll place tooth-colored fillings. That's not to downplay them. Those are important aspects, but for that particular type of practice, the things that we're talking about don't really occur. They refer to an oral surgeon, they'll refer to an endodontist, they'll refer to a periodontist, they'll refer to a TMJ specialist, and they avoid those potential risks and conversations and let someone else deal with them. And that's not bad and it's not good. I just can tell you, for a practice like us, we're providing all levels of care in the hospital, out of the hospital, oral sedation, inhalation sedation, intravenous sedation, general anesthetic sedation. We're doing oral surgery, endodontics, periodontics. And once you start getting into that area, pain control is extremely important. And you're dealing with more patients that are more fearful and have higher anxiety.
Transparency with your doctor about who you are and your own anxieties. Totally important. Hey, Doc, we got to take a break, but I want to say that you are one of the smartest and kindest men that I know, and I'm sorry that you've gone through that. It's to know the proof is in the pudding, and you're a good man that way, and I would support you in any of your issues with folks who don't understand, and you got to have a dialogue with your dentist. And if I was going to have a dialogue with any dentist, I'd love to have a dialogue with Dr. Kevin Coughlin, as we have for years here. How do you like that? That's a good endorsement.
Like it a lot. Thanks. My hope is that I'm educating the public to think before they act and ask themselves, why would someone not want to give adequate pain control? And many times there's reasons that we don't want to dope someone up too much to make it dangerous.
You're not a Laurence Olivier. What was in that movie where he played the dentist? Oh, Marathon Man with Dustin Hoffman, remember? Oh, my God. Holy mother. At any rate, hey, I'm going to play a song by Morgan Waller, who is a a country star. And this is from his new album. I like this song, and since it's almost the end of summer, we've got only 2 more weeks. Why not play 7 Summers by Morgan Waller? Here we go, Peter.
Talk about getting even further south, somewhere where the summer lasted all year round. Probably got a big old diamond on your hand right now, maybe a baby or a couple by now. Long driveway to a big white house. But I wonder when you're drinking if you find yourself thinking about that boy from East Tennessee. And I know we both knew better, but we still said forever, and that was 7 summers ago in Southern Comfort. Were we dumb or just younger? Who knows? Back then you used to love the river and sipping on a sixer with me. Does it ever make you sad to know that was 7 summers ago? Yeah, I bet your daddy's so proud of how his little girl turned out. Think she dies a bullet of a good old boy like me. Cause I still go drinking, same friends on Friday. Bought a few acres, couple roads off the highway. Guess you never saw things my way anyway. But I wonder when you're drinking if you find yourself thinking about that boy from East Tennessee. And I know we both knew better, but we still said forever, and that was 7 summers ago in Southern Comfort. Were we dumb or just younger? Who knows? Back then you used to love the river and sipping on a sixer with me. Does it ever make you sad to know that was 7 summers ago? 7 summers ago. 7 summers ago. Yeah, I wonder when you're drinking if you find yourself thinking about that boy from East Tennessee. And I know we both knew better, but we still said forever, and that was 7 summers ago in Southern Comfort. Were we dumb or just younger? Who knows? Back then you used to love the river and sipping on a sixer with me. Does it ever make you sad to know that was 7 summers ago? 7 summers ago. 7 summers ago.
Support for community radio on WSKB provided by Westfield Electroplating. Employing over 140 skilled platers, painters, and technicians, Westfield Electroplating was founded in 1946 and was the first company in the country to achieve National Aerospace and Defense Contractor Program accreditation, proudly maintaining that status for over a decade. Westfield Electroplating provides over 50 quality finishes to meet your corrosion, cosmetic, or performance needs. On the web at www.westfieldplating.com or 413-568-3716. Westfield Electroplating, putting the finishing touches on technology.
This is Ken Stomsky from Ken's Den on WCPC 15 and 89.5 FM, Tuesdays, 8 to 10.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning, and it is September 8th, 2020 and counting. On the phone from East Long Meadow, actually on Zoom from East Long Meadow, without the picture, is Dr. Kevin Coughlin from Ascent Dental Care. Hey, Kev, we've got a very short amount of time. I saw a thing on the TV that I wanted you to to answer about. It's called a Jazzercise. Have you ever heard of this? It is you for $29.95. You get like a rubber ball or something, or you get different sizes for different mouths apparently. That you exercise your jaw with this ball that you place inside your mouth. I think you clean it after every activity. But I wondered whether that was a good idea or not.
I think it is a good idea, depending on what it's used for and how it's used. So since we only have a short period of time, some people have what they call trismus. It means that their ability to open their mouth wide for a variety of reasons can't be done.
Yes.
Many times, if you took your 3 fingers and put them between your top and bottom teeth, that should be about 55 to 60 millimeters. 25 millimeters is an inch. So between 2.5 and 3 inches should be the normal range of motion.
Right.
Vertically. And if someone can't open that wide, imagine how difficult it would be for them to clean their teeth, maintain their teeth.
Yeah.
How difficult it would be for a dental hygienist to clean their teeth. And think of how difficult it would be for a dentist to put a filling or do an extraction or a root canal. So for patients who have limited range of motion, and that limited range of motion is based on trismus or muscle tightness.
Sure.
Many times these Jazzercisers can slowly but surely stretch those muscles.
Really?
And just like any physical therapy, improve the range of motion and opening, providing it's not done excessively or too quickly, which could injure the temporomandibular joint or the TMJ. So it's like anything that you purchase over the counter.
Right.
Many times the idea is good. You just need to have the sophistication and probably some supervision that you're not doing more harm than good.
So you would
Is that
probably
similar
recommend going in and talking to your dentist
Isn't
about
it the
that.
same theory as the Invisalign stuff for
Exactly.
orthodontics? Yeah.
Yes, you have millions of people straightening their teeth with little to no supervision. And many times I don't think the consumer or patient understands that the position and the shape of the jaw is just as important as the straightening of the teeth. There's no sense to have straight teeth if they don't interdigitate or function properly.
Oh God,
And
yes. My
the consumer
interdigitation
just-
is primary in my life. I
Right.
want,
They're just simply looking at creating straight teeth,
Yeah.
and they don't necessarily understand that you want the teeth to function. That's the whole purpose of teeth, so your upper and lower
Absolutely.
jaw come into contact correctly.
Wild. Doctor, you are fun. We've had a great hour of information. I'm telling you, I learn every time you are on. I ought to pay you.
Dr. Coughlin, do you still have that big honking space over there, or have you used that for something else?
I do have that honking space.
All right, we
and
need to take a Tuesday on the road and come to you for a early, maybe set up Monday night and do an early Tuesday morning show in East Long Meadow.
From Ascent Dental?
Absolutely.
Oh my God, I could.
Whatever works for you guys, you're more than welcome to come in, check it out. Like I said, this COVID has sort of set most practices back a little bit, but slowly but surely we're getting on our feet and we're coming
great.
back, just like all businesses.
Wonderful.
I think we should plan for next month going over to East Long Meadow.
Yeah, well, we'll talk on this one. That sounds a great idea. Road trip. Hey, Dr. Kevin Coughlin, Ascent Dental Care, Ascent Laser Aesthetics. You're online. And it's at ascentdentalcare.com. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Ascent is spelled ASCENT. Hey, everybody, I'm going to play. Kevin, thank you so much, incidentally.
Hey, thanks again. I had a great time. I hope the listeners enjoyed the show.
Oh, we love talking to you. Hey, I'm going to play Sam Cooke's A Change Is Going to Come, but this is Greta Van Fleet. Now, Greta Van Fleet is not a woman. We know she's a band. Greta Van Fleet's version of Change Is Going to Come. Fabulous. Bye.
Now I think I'm able to carry on.